Hello, everyone. Hello, GatherVerse. Hello, Christopher. Thank you all for having me here with you today. So my name is Hadeel Arja. I'm a journalist with more than 17 years experience, and I'm the co-founder of Frontline in Focus. This media agency produces stories by using AR and VR to tell stories from the front lines and war zones. So for today, I'm gonna take you through this presentation. I have prepared to tell you more about our work. First of all, I'm gonna share my screen and we'll start after 1 second. So I'm gonna put this here and okay. So Frontline Focus XR, bringing the front lines to your screen. Is it acceptable to stop covering the ongoing war in Syria and other conflict zones just because it's a prolonged conflict and the audience isn't engaging enough with the content from there? Is our role as a journalist to focus on major events and then forget about war zones, even there are millions of victims? Why don't we hear more about people affected by long-lasting wars in the news when VR and AR can put us right in their shoes and make us truly understand their lives? That's what we are trying to do. We are a team of journalists who believe that conflict coverage should go beyond breaking news and major events like earthquakes and massacres. Our commitment is to shed light on daily life and stories from areas like Syria, Libya, and Ukraine. We believe that technology has a significant impact on this. In addition to producing regular content for NGOs and media platforms, we use VR and AR to tell stories from Syria and other conflict zones. So I'm gonna play this video about our work.
Frontline in Focus XR, bringing the front lines to your screen. A media platform combining virtual and augmented reality. It brings you stories and reports from war and conflict zones. It takes you to the site. All you need to do is put on the VR glasses, or you can watch a 360-degree video. Through augmented reality technology, all you need to do is point your phone towards one of your rooms, and you'll find yourself listening to stories from war zones or living the everyday life of a refugee, one that is simpler than you'd imagine, but more complex than a regular life. To the media groups and humanitarian organizations that would like to join the experience, contact us directly. The war is ongoing. If you can't reach those areas or don't follow current events, that does not mean it doesn't exist. Today, we'll transport you there to the front lines of war zones.
So we used VR and AR to share the stories of Muhammad, who lost his home after the earthquake in Syria, and now he lives in a tent next to his house, destroyed house actually. And this cat lover who has shelter for thousands of cats. So each story here has a QR code. If you scan the QR code, you can watch the story directly by using VR or in 360 degrees. It's not their fault if media can't amplify their voices. The voice of Juma, who loves to play buzuki's instrument, and the voice of Abu Khalil, who lives only 300 meters away of his house, and the voice of Abu Uday, who said that the tent is never be like a home for him, even if he's living there for more than 8 years. The key of a successful VR story is the main character, like Hiba, who learned to sew their torn tent to protect her family from the cold wind, and Abu Muhammad, who is 90 years old, refused to leave his house and village. Everyone in his family left except him. And those students, instead of visiting this ruined castle on a school trip, they are studying in it on old plastic chairs. So for us, we launched the Frontline Focus in 2018. It's a media agency providing high quality content to clients, including Business Insider, SRF, NOS, UNICEF, WHO, IRC, and so on. In 2021, after winning the Google News Initiative, we began creating VR and AR stories. We launched Frontline Focus XR. In 2023, income doubled. We produced over 80 virtual stories and we won Global Content Award as the Startup of the Year. Beyond Technology Award of Stories by using VR and AR. Why we do this? To immerse the audience in the midst of the conflict for a deeper understanding. We taught ourselves these technologies. We learned from our mistakes, we improved our skills, and we are still learning and discovering. We produced these stories following the major events, and as I mentioned, to give the audience deeper understanding of the aftermath. Our founder, Hadeel Arja, he is experienced photographer. He works in the field, not remotely, and he teach our reporters and he taught them how to produce this kind of stories. So here I'm gonna play this short video about a 3D model, AR 3D models. We did the scanning for these models. So what challenges we faced? First of all, it's a conflict zones. These challenges involve limited access to equipment and the cost. As all of you know, it's that the VR and AR has have high cost. It's a high cost technology, and the audience. Some people don't know much about VR and AR, but on the other hand, we are attracting a new audience, a younger generation. They already understand it. So we had different solutions for that educating the audience, collaborating, and even the funding. Those are some of our solutions. We have this live VR experience, one of our services we provide for people interested in conflict zones, like Syria. For example, you can't travel there, but journalists, for example, they can use VR headset to be part of the action from their office. That will help them to build their story. They can ask questions and do live interviews. Years ago, newspapers were here to stay, but online media took over. Also, we believe VR in media is the future, and it's already shaping how we experience stories today. Thank you everyone for listening, and please feel free to reach out for any questions or any kind of collaboration. We are open, and I'm gonna stop sharing. Thank you for having me here with you today, and please feel free to reach out for any questions. My LinkedIn is the same, Hadeel Arja, and please follow us on our social media platforms. And good luck for the other participants in this amazing conference. Thank you, Christopher. Goodbye.